Hi guys, hi ladies, good evening. We're back for another Andy's record collection. Yeah, we'll just get the phone sorted. So, are we connected? Yeah, we should be. Why is that not working? Don't understand that. I don't understand that. Oh well, we're live anyway because people are coming in. So, good evening, Clarence. Good evening, Mark. Good evening, Julie. And good evening again, Clarence. Right, we are going to get a slight disturbance in a couple of minutes because a friend of mine's come in, pick up another radio cassette. So I will mute the video while he's here. We'll leave it running, but I will mute it while he's here, and I can sort him out. And yeah, I don't understand. Let me just go into settings. Settings. Andy's record collection. Yeah, it's right. We're in the right one. So why won't it come up on the damn phone? Let's try again. Andy's record collection. Right, yeah, we're there. View channel. Live. It's working, but it's not letting us. No, won't let me go in. Yeah, lovely. That's Courtney getting bollocked. Tommy getting bollocked. Let's try this again. Andy's record collection. View channel. It should come up there, but it doesn't. Oh well. Yeah. Alright. I don't know why. Part 3, Part 2, Part 1. Oh. Off, sod it. Sod it. I'll have to just struggle with the Yeah, we're in anyway because we're obviously in, obviously. So let's go to another camera. Well, before we do, we'll wait for Chris to turn up and we'll sort Chris out because he's on his way. And yeah, I had a bit of a fall the other day, as we all know, and I am in pain. Not as much pain as I was in the other day, but I'm still in pain, guys. And it hurts. It hurts. But it only hurts when I burp, cough or fart. I'll try my best not to cough, because that really does hurt. I think I've cracked a rib or two. I'll try my best not to cough, because it really hurts. I'm trying my best not to fart because, well, that hurts and it stinks as well, so. Yeah, we'll get this radio out, ready for Chris coming. Yeah, we're gonna give him this Hitachi, because that sharp I did for him, although it is working, it's playing at the wrong speed, and he can't adjust the bloody speed on the motor. So I just said to him, well, I'll take that in part exchange, and I'll just flog you another radio. So that's what we'll do. We'll just flog him another radio. But obviously I'm not charging him a lot because A, he's a friend, and B, we're taking it as part X, so, you know. Yeah, so we've got, we've got a bit, a bit there for a bit of shopping tomorrow. But yeah, guys, you know, it's one of those things. Andy, will you go see someone about your ribs? There's no point, Julie. The last time I broke 2 ribs getting out of bed, the last time I broke any ribs, I broke 2 ribs getting out of bed, rushing to answer the door to the postman, and I broke a couple of ribs, or I either cracked them or broke them, and I mentioned them to my doctor. I got my doctor to give me a ring back, and I mentioned them to him, and he said, there's no point coming in, he said, because, he said, really, he says, we can't do nothing for them. He says, we can't strap them up or anything. He says, it's not like you broke a bone in your arm or your leg, he said, where we can put plaster of Paris on. He said, we can't do that with your ribs. You know, he said, we'd have to cut you open to do it. He said, so basically, he said, there's not really a lot you can do. He said, just don't try move. He said, just don't try move about as much, and, you know, just try and take it a bit easier for the next few days. So there's not really much point me going. Otherwise I would have done, Julie. You know, they just can't do nothing for it. So, you know, by me going there, I'm taking up an appointment that somebody else could have had and made good use of. You know, if I thought they could do something, and yeah, I would have gone this morning. I would have made an appointment for the next available, and I would have gone, but I know they can't do nothing, so, you know. But I'm not as bad as what I was. I mean, when I lie down, it's pretty horrendous, but when I'm sat up, I'm okay. No problem, guys. I can sit up perfectly, and I can move about, and I can do things, so, you know. What I'll probably do tonight, I'll probably bring my quilting off my bed in here, and I'll probably sleep in the front room, and I'll probably sleep in the armchair, because I was reading on the, well, my daughter was reading on the internet. My daughter was reading on the internet, and they say it's best to try and sleep upright, as upright as possible. So I'll just doss in my chair tonight. You know, rather than getting in bed, I'll just doss in my chair, or even on the sofa. The sofa's a bit more upright than my bed, so I might even doss on the sofa surf for a night or two even. I see, I understand. Yeah, you can't do nothing about it, Julie. You know, they can't do nothing about ribs. It's like feet. There's that many bones. You know, there's over 100 bones in your feet. There's well over 100 bones in your feet, and they can't really. If you break, if you damage your foot, there's not really much you can do about it. You know. Let's just take this message because I'm expecting a message. Right. Right, I'm going to let Chris in because he's outside. Let me just mute this. I'm not going outside, I've got no trousers on. I can't go outside. Hi guys, I'm back, and sorry about that. I thought I was only going to be a minute, but I got carried away. Let's come back to you for a minute. I got carried away there, guys, talking. Yeah, I know I muted it because, you know, there's certain things that you might talk about that you don't want other people to hear. You know, like Chris might have wanted to tell me something personal or something you don't know. And you don't want people to hear everything, so, you know, I mute it. For that reason, I've got messages. Yeah, that was just that radio is still on mute, mate. No, I weren't. I put it on mute deliberately, guys. Good evening, Paul. I hope you and Jan are okay. Yeah, I put it on. There we are. It's letting me in here now. There we go. There we go, guys. It's fucking working now. I'm sorry about the long period on mute there, but you know, it's just that, you know, I only found out that Chris was coming after I'd sorted out the channel. Anyway, so what we're gonna do, and I do apologise, guys, and you know, it happens. You know, it happens, doesn't it? We get caught up. We get caught up in things. So anyway, what we're going to do next, we're going to put that there for a minute. Move that to over there. There we go. Now we can get to our records. Right, so basically, guys, I think you might have a hernia. No, I've not got a hernia. It's not a hernia. It's a broken rib, because I was all right till I fell on the floor. I had a fall the other day, guys. I was all right till that happened, and I don't feel as bad now, to be honest. You know, I'm not as much pain now as I was. So anyway, I do apologise for the length of time I took to conduct that, but you know, there's just certain things that I don't like people, you know. Yeah, you know, my business, you know, at the end of the day, guys, you know, my business is my business. Hi, Malcolm. Who else? We've got Mr. Paul, a guy from the 60s. And yeah, we've got everybody telling me I'm on mute. No worries, guys. I knew I was on mute. I muted it. Anyway, let's move across to camera 2. And it's the final part of looking at the history of rock LPs that were introduced in the 80s. Now, I think these are pretty good for the price. Can we get the camera up a bit higher? If we go a bit higher, that might be better. Yeah, that's about as good as we're going to get. That'll do us. I'll just hold the record slightly lopsided so it looks straight. There we go. Right, so we've got... Move the phone over a bit. Yeah. So we've got... Yeah, I gave him a couple of cassettes as well. There were a couple of them cassettes that you gave me, Paul. The 2 Phil Collins ones, because I've already got them on LP. So I gave them to that young lad who was just come with his dad now to get his radio dealt with. So what I've done, I've sold him another radio and taken his old one as part exchange, and we'll just chuck it in the parts bin and we'll experiment with it and see what we can do. You know, that kind of thing. Anyway, so this is History of Rock, Volume 30. On this one we've got the Eagles, Lanyard Skinyard, whatever he's called, Steely Dan, and Little Feat. We went through them last week, didn't we? We did that last week. We're on bloody 31, not 30. Thought I recognised that. So basically, forget about that, guys. That doesn't matter. The Stranglers, Punk, Squeeze, Two Tone, Volume 31. That's where we're at this week. That's me getting confused. Right. And as usual, the artwork in this is nice. It is a double. I mean, they make good buying sense. I say it every week, but it happens to be true. They do make good buying sense, these. I mean, you've got the Stranglers on one side, you've got a selection of Punk on the other, you've got Squeeze. I like Squeeze. Squeeze were very good. Squeeze were very good. And then you've got Two Tone. Yeah. So what have we got? Yeah, I thought they'd put gold and brown on it. They'd have to, wouldn't they? What have we got by Squeeze? Take Me, I'm Yours, Cool for Cats, Up the Junction, Pulling Muscles from the Shell, Tempted, Labelled with Love. Labelled with Love, that's a very good song. Yeah. And Punk, we've got Sex Pistols, The Damned, Buzzcocks, Generation X, Stiff Little Fingers, Wire, The Band. The Banded, rather. I remember all them. Hello, Mark. Oh, no, it's a guy from the 60s, sorry. The emoji looked the same there for a minute. They're yours to do what you like with. I hope the young lad gets a lot of enjoyment out of them. Well, we just introduced him to Phil Collins. Yeah, we just because I said to him, do you like Phil Collins? He said, I'm not sure. I said, well, take them. I said, if you don't like them, pass them on to somebody else. I said, but your mum and dad don't like Phil Collins. I said, they'll remember him. Yeah. And then we've Red Squeeze, haven't we? And then we've got Two Tone, The Specials, The Beat, The Specials, Madness, The Selector, The Specials again, The Body Snatchers. Yeah. So we want to put these this way up, don't we? So that when we put them back in the cabinet, back in the bookcase, they're the right way around. Right, so that's it, guys. So let's carry on. 60s American pop. And that's got 2 records in it as well, and it's full of 60s American pop. Who have we got? We've got Jan and Dean, we've got Tommy Rowe, we've got the Teddy Bears, we've got Paul and Paula. Now, an interesting thing about the Teddy Bears, before he became a rather horrible producer, I couldn't fucking stand him. He was a bit of a big head. Phil Spector was a member of the Teddy Bears, and he's actually on the record to Know Him Is to Love Him. It's the only one he was on, and he got stage fright. So he went into the production room. He went into the control room instead, which was probably... I don't like him, and I make no bones about it. Not because he shot that woman. Didn't like him anyway. I thought he was a big-headed little fucker. Brenda Lee, Chris Montez, Brian Island, Bobby V, the Chiffons, the Drifters, Bruce Chanel, the Rascals, and the Shangri-Las. Yeah. So I'm not going to read out what's on here, but it's a good selection. This is a very good selection of 60s American pop. Very good selection of 60s American pop on this album. And next one, Blondie, ELO, ABBA, and David Essex. Right, so there's a picture of Blondie. A lot of people think they were called Blondie because she had blonde hair. They weren't. It was something to do with Italian. It comes from the name has Italian roots. I can't remember why, but it does. But there we go. ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra, brilliant, weren't they? ABBA, another good one, and David Essex. I wasn't really a David Essex person. I weren't into David Essex. I used to leave him for the girls. But I did have a few in my case, so that if I did bring a girl home, I mean, we never got up to nothing, maybe a snog, that was it. We brought a girl home, we just played a few records and had a glass of orange juice and a biscuit, and just sat and had a chat, you know, a few records on. So I used to have some records that girls liked. Always keeping favour with the ladies. But yeah, you know, Blondie, Yellow, ABBA and David Essex. We're getting through these pretty quick tonight, guys. Bobby Womack, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Isley Brothers, the OJs, Harold Marvin and the Blue Notes. You can't go wrong, can you? You can't go wrong. Here we go, guys. Bobby Womack, Earth, Wind and Fire. Yeah. The Isley Brothers, the OJs, and Harold Marvin and the Blue Notes. I mean, the artwork is even good in these. I mean, I say it every week. We'll be on to something else next week. I'm not sure yet, but it's in the planning stage. But that's the covers weren't very clever. These tended to swell up a bit, but you know. But then again, they're over 40 years old nowadays. And I gave £10, I think it was, for all these records. Here we go. One hit wonders. One hit wonders. One hit wonders. Who have we got on the one hit wonders list on here? Clarence Carter, Scott McKenzie, Honeybus, Zegger and Evans, Richard Harris, Norman Greenbaum, I think that's his fucking name, Twinkle, who's that at the top? Label or LaBelle? LaBelle, I think it is. Charles McDermott, Reborn and Lou Reed. Yeah, I'm surprised they never put the Archies Sugar on there, because as far as I'm concerned, that was the best. That was the best one-hit wonders, the best one-hit wonder that was ever made. I'm surprised they never put that on. Oh, it could be, because you've got Ricky Valance here. Honeybus, The Casuals. I'd be surprised if Sugar's not on here. Let's have a look. At the Hop, Denise, Eve of Destruction, San Francisco, Be Sure to Wear Flowers in Your Hair, John Reed, Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky, Zegger and Evans in the Year 2525. There's some good stuff on it, nevertheless. But I'll be surprised if they haven't put that on. I mean, it was one of the best one-hit wonders ever made, wasn't it? Terry by Twinkle. I'm just looking to see if it's on here. I don't think it is. Richard Harris, MacArthur Park. Nope, it's not on here. Oh, never mind. Can't have everything, can you? Yeah, MacArthur Park's on here, 1968. That's all. It's about someone who left his cake out in the rain, innit? Yeah. The Barron Knights did a piss take called Arthur Clarke. Bob Marley and the Story of a Reggae. Oh, we've not looked at... Oh, yeah, we did look at the artwork, didn't we? We did. Anyway, Bob Marley and the Story of Reggae. This has got to have some good stuff on it. I'll be surprised. Yeah, we've got Bob Marley there. Remember Bob Marley? Bob Marley and the Wailers. And then we've got the Story of Reggae. He was the king of reggae, wasn't he, Bob Marley? Absolutely. We've got the Pioneers. We've got John Holt. Oh, there's loads. Nicky Thomas, Desmond Decker, Bob and Marcia. I think that was Bob Marley's daughter, wasn't it, Marcia? I don't know. I could be wrong. Dave and Angel, Dave and Ansel Collins, Toots and the Maytals, the Pie, yeah, I think I've read them all, yeah. I've read them all now, and Dennis Brown, Susan Cardigan. Huh? Right, oh well. Somebody has to be called it. Right. So, yeah, Bob and Marcy, Young, Gifted and Black. Yeah, it wasn't Bob Marley, was it? No, no, he was dead. I don't know, he wouldn't have been, would he? No, he wouldn't have been. No, was he, fuck? 1970, Young, Gifted and Black. Desmond Dekker, The Israelites. Yeah. But yeah, we got Bob Marley there, as, you know, then we got the story of reggae, just all different. Just all difference. The Pioneers, Long Shot, Kick the Bucket. Have they put that other one on there by the Pioneers? Can't remember what it's called. It's a really good one they made. I think they've only put one really by each artist. Yeah. But you know, you know, I mean, you're getting a good selection of stuff with these. You know, you really are, guys. I mean, you know, they represent good buying sense. Yeah, Meatloaf, Judas Priest, Saxon, Motorhead. The certain ones might not be here because of when these were made. So we've got Meatloaf. I thought Meatloaf was brilliant. Motorhead, well, I thought all these were brilliant. Judas Priest, Saxon and Motorhead. There's Saxon and there's Motorhead. And Saxon's got to have Strangers in the Night on. Yeah, it is. Yeah, 747 Strangers in the Night. I remember buying that on a single and I've still got it. In 1980. You took the words right out of my mouth, yeah, Meatloaf, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they were good. Judas Priest. Oh, pardon me, guys, I'm full of wind. Judas Priest, Saxon, Motorhead. They actually did a song called Motorhead as well. Ace of Spades is not on here, probably because it came after this was made. Ace of Spades. I've got that on a record somewhere. I might even have it on a single, Ace of Spades. Japan, Altered Images, Haircut 100, Dexys Midnight Runners. Oops. And there's Japan, Altered Images, Haircut 100 and Dexys Midnight Runners. I'll give you a look at the artwork for everything if we can. Right. I don't remember Japan too much, but I've heard of them. Altered Images, I remember them. Dexys Midnight Runners. I'll tell you what isn't on here. Come On Eileen. No, it's not. Dance, Gino. There, my dear. Plan B. Mind you, Come On Eileen might have come out later. Because they only go up to 1980. Yeah, but... Yeah. You know, you get a lot of records for a very little amount of money. I mean, you can get these for as little as £1 each if you look in the right places. And if you work that out for 40 quid for 40 records, well, there's more than 40 records because most of them, there's 2 of them in it, but we're classing them as one album because it's a double, even if it's a double. Elvis Costello on the Attractions, Nick Lowe, Kate Bush, Joan Armour Trading. Yeah, we're getting near the end of them now, guys. This is volume number 39. Yeah. And there we go. Elvis Costello on the Attractions, Nick Lowe, Kate Bush, and Joan Armour Trading. I'll tell you what, you know, I thought Kate Bush was dead sexy. That long hair and the way she used to whirl around the stage. Yeah, I thought she was dead sexy. Yeah. Yeah, she was responsible for many a lump in my trousers. Has to be said. I'd be lying if I didn't say it, guys, but yeah, I thought she was really... Wuthering Heights, Symphony in Blue, James and the Gold Gun. James and the Gold Gun. I think that's a James Bond theme. James and the Cold Gun, is that a misprint? I don't know. Suspended in Gaffer. Yeah, whatever. If I'm reading it right, pronouncing it right. Them Heavy People Live. Yeah, this only goes up to 1982. Yeah. 1982, Suspended in Gaffer. I don't remember that. Joan Armour Trading, yeah. Nick Lowe and Elvis Costello and the Attractions. Yeah. Right, number 40. Last of the lot. The Boomtown Rats, The Jam, Spandau Ballet and Gary Newman. Yeah. Right. Right, there's the Boomtown Rats. There's The Jam, Spandau Ballet and Gary Newman. I like all them artists. Grew up with all that. The Boomtown Rats. Yeah, looking after number 1. Mary of the Fourth Form. She's So Modern, Rat Trap, and I Don't Like Mondays. That was very controversial, that, when it came out. Didn't do well in America, I'm not surprised. In the Jam did In the City, The Eton Rifles, Going Underground, Strange Town, All Around the World and Start. Yeah. Yeah. Spandau Ballet. I don't really remember much of theirs. I don't think I was much of a Spandau Ballet fan. But I do like Gary Newman. Even now. Cars, 1979. Our Friends Electric, 1979. We Are Glass. Sorry. I Die, You Die, She's Got Claws. Yeah. And that's it, guys. That brings us to the end of the History of Rock collection, and next week we'll find something else. We may look at my Elvis collection, which we won't include the History of Rock in that because we've already spoke about that. My Elvis collection doesn't really extend much. I think it's one album, so that'll be a quick one, won't it? So let's go back to me now. Yeah, like I say, guys, you know, if anybody ever comes and I mute it, don't tell me I've gone on mute because I already know that. But thanks for letting me know in case I clicked it accidentally. But I already know if I've gone on mute because I put it on mute. Because, you know, well, yeah, you know, my business is, well, it's my business, isn't it? There's some good ones in that collection, Andy. Thank you very much, Julie. There is, you know, and to be honest with you, like I keep saying, you know, buying them does make good buying sense, you know, because you're going to get some, you know, because just about anybody found their way onto that collection. You know what I mean? They really did. All the good stuff found its way onto that collection. I mean, yeah, top. I think it's. I think at the end of the day, yeah. I gave Chris a couple of records I had knocking about as well for his wife, which I dug out because I know which I've got 2 of, and I know his wife likes certain things, so I gave him a couple of LPs for his wife. The lovely Joanne. You know, but You know, and that's what I do, guys. I pass things on. If you know, if I can pass it on, I'll pass things on. You know, I mean, really, that history of rock collection. To be honest with you guys, that history of rock collection, it does sum up the whole history of rock, doesn't it? I mean, they got it right, didn't they? You know, because nobody said to me, well, where's who and where's what. The only one I've questioned really was where's Sugar Sugar by the Archies, but the Archies weren't really a real band. They were just made up of backing musicians in when they were bored, and they just happened to make a world beater of a record. So yeah, I can understand why that's not on there. It would have been nice for it to be featured, but I can understand why it's not, because they weren't a real band as such. The guy who sung it was actually a real singer, and he was a famous singer, and and on the condition that he did it was he wouldn't get named on the record, so he accepted that condition. And you know, a bit of music magic was created. You know, they sprinkled a little bit of sugar, and that was it. You know, beautiful, top song. I can understand why it's not included on there. Because, like I say, they weren't a real band, but it would have been nice to see it. But I can understand why. It's like Johnny Reggae by the Piglets. The Piglets weren't a real band either, so that wouldn't find its way on there. Johnny Reggae. He's a real tasty geezer. You remember the one, yeah. It didn't get to number one. I can remember our Veronica buying that when I was a kid, because she's a little bit older than me. So I can remember her buying that when I was a kid. Are they... Let me put my glasses on, I'll be able to read it better. Are they just tracks, or is there a narrator between the tracks telling you the story of rock? No, they're just tracks. No, they're just tracks. Anything that you want to know is all in the inner sleeve. It's all in the gate sleeve. They're all gatefolds. So even the ones with just one record in, they're all gatefolds. So they can tell you the story on the sleeve. The story's told on the sleeve and in the magazines that accompanied, that the records accompanied. But no, you've got nothing on the record except the songs, which is what we want, really. We don't want somebody coming on and saying, well, this is what's he call it, and they did this one, and, you know, we don't want that, really. You know, we just want the records. And that's what you get on these. I mean, it's the music. You know, really good. You know, and I'm really pleased I bought them. I mean, I wasn't happy that the guy came to me with these after he got rid of all the really, really nice stuff. I wasn't happy that he did that, because I would have liked to. I had a big wallet full of money, because I was doing pretty well back then. So, you know, I was even working back then, so I was doing pretty well. So, and I had a bit of savings. So I would have been more than happy to buy a lot more off him. But he came with these, and they were what he couldn't sell them, so he came with these, and I bought them. But because he came with these and sold all the good stuff, I just lowballed him. And I don't care, guys, it might sound wrong, but I lowballed him. I just offered him a tenner, and I said, you take a tenner or drive around. I was telling Chris before. He's laughing his tits off, Chris. And, you know, we were having a bit of a joke. I'll tell him a few jokes and whatnot. And, you know. But, yeah. You know, yeah, I brought wind while they were here. Shouldn't have done that, really, but I did. And I just, what can you do? You know, I bent down to plug the radio in to show him the radio work, and I bent down. As I bent down, I farted. I just turned around and said, more than 2 sniffs of that and you're greedy. Yeah. You know, but what can you do? It happens, doesn't it, guys? Hey, it happens. You know, you bend down and you crush a bit of air in your body and it comes out, you know, it comes out your anus. And man, I'm glad it does come out your anus. I wouldn't want to fart through my mouth. Ew, it tastes I bet it'd taste fucking horrible, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's something you don't want. You wouldn't want to sit behind someone in the pictures, would you? You know, it should say you wouldn't want somebody sat behind you in the pictures. If you had to fart through your mouth, you wouldn't be wanting someone in the pictures behind you, would you? Ooh, what? But especially when you do them like I do them. I mean, mine stink, guys. I won't hold nothing. I'll be honest with you guys. Mine are putrid, they stink, and they sound like I've shit myself. That's what happens when you get older. When you fart, it sounds like you shit yourself. You know, I'm trying not to laugh, guys. Honestly, I'm trying not to laugh because when I do it hurts. Fucking hell. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we had a bit of a laugh. I mean, I had a bit of a chat with Chris and his lad. Left the other lad in there. He left his other son in the car. He could have brought him in. You have to fart, of course you do. I mean, the amount of people who tell me, oh no, I don't fart. Everybody farts. If you eat, you fart. It's as simple as that. You know, hello Jodie, by the way. Hello, honey. Nice to see you there. Well, I say, honey, I think you're a female. Yeah, I think you are, aren't you? I don't know. Yeah, anyway. You know, because your photograph looked like a fella. But Jodie Duggan, yeah. Yeah, you do. You have to break wind. You know, you go through life. You go through life, and you suddenly figure out, you know, that you've got to do it. It happens, guys. It's one of those things. It happens. So anyway, you know, that's another radio gone. But the problem is, it's come back. Another one's been dropped off. So we're not really any better off, really. We've still got a radio. And what we'll do, we'll experiment with that radio because it's not really got any value to it. It's the bottom of the range of what Sharp actually produced at the time. So we'll just use it for messing about with, and we might even let it release the magic smoke. We'll see. Might even try another motor in it. See if we can put a motor in that can be adjusted. See if we can get hold of a 9-volt motor. Well, it's got a 12-volt transformer in it now, hasn't it? So we'll try and put a 12-volt transformer. We'll try and put yeah. You know what I'm saying, guys. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. But, yeah, we'll try and do that. But, yeah, so I'll be going in a minute because, what time is it? Yeah, it's 22 minutes past 8. Like I say, guys, I'm sorry about being on mute for all that time. But, you know, I had to, you know, sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you've got to be on mute because there's things that you want to say. And, you know, there we go, guys. Anyway, you take it easy. I'm going to get off. I'm going to get off and chill out, maybe make myself another brew. I'm going to chill out, that's for sure, and relax and sit back in my chair. You take it easy, guys and girls. And I'll be back with something on Wednesday. We may have a video tomorrow put in Burn It Out Matthews radiogram back together. Because what I'd like to do before I change the caps, I'd like to test it first to make sure that it works and then change the caps. Change the Black Callins caps over for nice new ones. Anyway, guys, you take it easy. Look after yourselves. Look after your significant other half if you've got one. You all stay safe. Like, share, subscribe. Buy me a coffee if you want to. And I'll be back next week. I don't know what with, but we'll be back on Monday on the Andy's record collection. We'll see what we can find. And I'll catch you later, guys. You all take it easy. Bye for now.